When you grow up exposed to the finest wines in the world and you decide to get into the wine business, you're going to look for the best vineyards to replicate that experience. Welcome to Von Holt. Thanks for having us here. And speaking of here, where are we? Because this is idyllic and exceptional.
We're in the Heintz family vineyard. It's in Occidental, California, up on top of a mountain here in Occidental. It's fairly high up. It's been in Charlie Heintz's family for about 100 years. The first 80 or so was an apple orchard. Eventually somebody realized that a ton of quality grapes is worth a lot more than a ton of apples. And they took out the orchard and then they planted this vineyard.
So these vines are about 20 years of age?
Yes.
And is everything here Chardonnay?
No, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and a little bit of Syrah.
Okay. And how did you and Pam get into wanting to make exceptionally crafted small batch Chardonnay?
Well, it's what we like to begin with. We started Von Holt Wines in 2008 with the idea of making single vineyard designate wines that we like, that are low in alcohol, pair well with food, have a certain amount of acidity and minerality, and really represent the region that they come from and the terroir year to year. So a bottle of the 2012 Heintz Family Vineyard Von Holt Chardonnay will be considerably different than last year's or next year's. Same philosophy, same barrel program. It's all about 25% new French oak, but due to the terroir, the rainfall, it'll be a little different each year, and that's what we like.
So really kind of gravitating to let the vineyard speak year in and year out, not doing any manipulation in the winery per se.
That's absolutely right. We do very little manipulation. We try to stay true to the fruit, and that'll come through from year to year.
And how did you get into low alcohol wines? Because it's a very old world distinction versus kind of what a new world style is, so to speak.
It is. It goes back to kind of how we got into the wine business. Pam, the co-owner, my wife, with me, grew up in a family that had a French family as friends, and experienced a lot of really nice French wine at a very young age. And especially back then, it was low alcohol. It pairs well with food. It wasn't the bigger, overly jammy California style
buttery,
buttery Chardonnay, or jammy cherry kind of Pinot Noir that you get sometimes from California. So our objective was to make wine like that, that we like, that goes well with food.
Well, and I think that's kind of where you see a little bit of the pendulum swinging as people are starting to get more into the food aspect of great wines. And it's been a benefit because you grew up with it, Pam grew up with it, and you have to have low alcohol wines to do that.
Yeah, I think so. I think that as fun as it is to have a glass of wine by itself, I think most wine is consumed with food.
So Pam grew up with access to great French wines at a very young age. And how did you get bit by the wine bug per se as it relates to developing an old world palate?
Well, I used to work for the Secret Service. I've been retired from there about 10 years. I work elsewhere now. But in the service, I've traveled extensively. I worked in 46 states and about 40 countries. In many of those countries, we had a lot of work to be done, but there was some time to enjoy dinner, a glass of wine, and was exposed to a lot of really fine wine. So I kind of developed a taste for it and carried that forth into what we're doing now.
Well, I know this is truly a very famous vineyard producing such small quantities of exquisite wine. Should we have some?
Well, absolutely. That's why we're here.
Perfect. Terrific time with Chris and Pam Von Holt, proving yet again, pursuing your dreams and endless hard work can produce amazing results. The proof is in the bottle. Thank you so much for all your support.